So, Jamie, it's been a little while since we last caught up. 4 games in the last couple of weeks. Can you give us your thoughts on those games?
Yeah, obviously overall, three defeats in one win. Obviously not the results that we're after. But starting back from obviously when we last spoke, obviously we had the disappointment, the 1-0 loss against Long Levens in our first game at Trowbridge Road. We followed that up with a real good 3-0 win at home to Brimscombe in one of the cups. It was a real resounding win on the night. Kind of everything kind of fell into place that we've been working on over the last few weeks. And it was a really good evening for us, and we took a lot from it. However, it came at a real cost. Leading into the Lydney game on the Saturday, which obviously was a big game for us, with another team around us. We picked up too many injuries on the Wednesday, and in my short time in management, it was probably the worst couple of days I had doing it after the Brimscombe game, just trying to manage to put a team together. To be honest, we had 7 unavailable, which is just unbelievable. Really, we had obviously two were pre-booked kind of holidays, which you get now and again, which is kind of acceptable. But yeah, the rest, majority of them were picked up in the week, and it kind of just it killed us a little bit. Although going into Lydney game, we've lost 1-0. The kind of story of what we've been doing so far. We've conceded from a set piece after 2 minutes, and then after that we've kind of there's been nothing really in the game, especially the second half. We pushed heavily and options off the bench were very, very limited. We had a couple of the A-team lads and another lad who was borrowed from Wells City, so thanks to Sean Potter for that. It was just a day where we were really, really stretched, and it just fell on the worst weekend, unfortunately. We missed some horrific chances, myself one included, and it was just a day in a game that didn't go for us, unfortunately, and that was that. We rolled into another Floodlit Cup game in the midweek against Long Levens, for 70 minutes it was as well as we've been, and as perfect it can go. We were 2-0 up, in I'd say cruising at that point, and then again it's kind of a repetitive trait. We've switched off from set pieces and conceded 2 in a short amount of time. And then obviously the inexperience and in the panic sets in the squad, and we make a really bad mistake right at the end of the game, and we lose 3-2 and go out. It was really gutting because of how well we played for the first 70 minutes of the game. It was as good as we've been, and to just chuck it away like that was really gutting. And we've been doing more and more in training to kind of rectify that.
How have the lads responded to that result, having been 2-0 up and then losing right in the last minute? How have the team been?
I think it knocked the stuffing out of them a little bit, because it was a game similar to the kind of Brimscombe game where we were a little bit stronger in the squad than we had at Lydney, and we were doing all the right things, and we got ourselves in a leading and a commanding position, and the same kind of Achilles heel shows itself, and we've given ourselves a mountain to climb really quickly, and they were very, very down, but I'd still say as overall the feeling in the camp is positive. We know what we've come into. We're under no illusions it's going to be easy, but the overall feeling within the camp is positive, and that's leading into Tuffley on Saturday.
So of course, Tuffley, massive game. What are your thoughts going into that one?
Yeah, it is a massive game. They're all massive games. Obviously, touching on the Malvern result on Saturday, we lost 6-1. It was just one of them. We started really well, and we could have been 1, maybe 2 up. Just slashed at some chances. Then again, we conceded the first goal from a corner, and once you let teams like that get on top of you, they're very good. They've been together for a very long time. They're well drilled, and once you let a team of that quality and a team as young as us and as kind of early on in our development as we are, they just strangled us. And but still, all of the goals are we're looking at them and thinking, what have we done? What have we done? It's But yeah, we kind of write that one off as much as we're absolutely gutted of it, and we don't want to lose by those margins. Malvern are a really good side, and they'll be right up there at the end of the season. But yeah, leading into Tuffley, it's a big game for both sides. Probably more so them than us at the moment, due to where they stand and we stand. But that cluster at the bottom has become really, really tight with Thornbury picking up. So it's a really big game before we we're led into a real cluster of real difficult fixtures. But we tackle it as we do with every game, real positive, and we'll give absolutely everything to get a result.
One of the more disappointing things from the result against Malvern was we lost Ash Fowler to injury. How does that affect your preparation going into this game? Yeah,
Ash I think pulled his hammy, and he's had it looked at, and he's probably going to be out for 4 to 5 weeks. He's been really good, to be fair, since we joined the club. His attitude's been spot on, but we've built a squad to kind of work around things like that, and it will just be another person's chance to step up into the squad. So obviously Ash being a real young lad, we've got a really young back four, to be honest, at the moment, and they're all learning. But overall, Ash's been really good, and we will miss him. But that's why we build a squad.
Speaking of chances to new players, Mark Bowden's come in from Westbury. What did you make of his first appearance?
Yeah, Mark's really good. We just felt we needed something a little bit more experienced, more so a leader in the change rooms, on and off the pitch, and he's brought that already. Don't kind of look into the goals conceded since he's been in, because they have absolutely nothing to do with him, and he's been absolutely brilliant on Saturday, despite the 6-1. To be honest, he couldn't have done anything about the goals. Same at Long Levens. He's been really good. He's made a real positive impact, and I think it's only going to help our the young defence in front of him.
Absolutely. And looking at things that have been happening outside of matches, the committee have recently established new roles for the forthcoming year. What's your thoughts on that? Yeah,
it's good to finally kind of end the slight uncertainty that there was. Obviously, Steve Rose, who I've been working closely with since I've joined, is now the chairman, with Tim Morant as the vice chairman, and you couldn't have better people in the roles there. They're real clubmen. They're always up here doing things, and they've been fully supportive of what I've been doing since we joined, and they understand the difficulties, because it is kind of obvious where they lie. But yeah, that being said, the committee, who are now official, have not just been doing it for 2 days since they've been announced. They've been doing it since the old kind of guard left, and they've done a great job. Make no bones about it. The club would have been another bitten if they wouldn't have stepped in. That was how bad it was. And they've stabilised the club, and we're in a good position to push on. Obviously, we got to concentrate on the short term and try and accumulate enough points on the pitch to stay up. But off the pitch, we're in a really good position.
You mentioned there the stability, and you've been at the club now for a couple of months. Do you think it's now that's it? That's the time to build from here?
Yeah. Like I said, there's been lots of uncertainty with the club for a long, long time. And they've been kind of living in a fairy tale for a long, long time. And I think the club are now paying for their kind of past with what's gone on. But that being said, that's completely gone now. The club's in good hands now, and will run a real sustainable, well-functioning club from now on, backed by a big committee, committed management and team and players who are here for the right reasons. And although obviously we're not happy with what's going on the pitch at the moment, we're in it for the long run, and I'm confident we'll turn it around.
Fantastic. And ahead of the match on Saturday, have you got a message for the fans?
Always. To be fair, since we joined, since before we joined, they've always been vocal and brilliant. And despite the results not going our way at the moment, they've been perfect for me, to be honest. They've been fully supportive, understand the position we're in, and they've backed me, and it's been brilliant, to be fair. They're at every game. They travel. They get the train all over the country wherever we go, and long may it continue. And although they've been used to having lots of success, I'd say, over the last couple of years, and it's probably something new to them, they've been brilliant, and long may it continue.
Fantastic. Well, thank you for your time, Jamie, and I'll see you on Saturday.
Legend.